So you just unlocked Odin and you're wondering how to use it. In this video we'll be going over all your iconic abilities, how to best utilize them, and fun combos you can do. So with that out the way, let's get into this, yeah? The core of Odin's icon is Arm of Darkness, so let's cover that first and why it should warrant one of your 3 iconic slots. Arm of Darkness will change your normal combo string into a 5-hit combo. You can no longer magic burst in between each swing, and no limit break can be built while using this form. Your lunge will now do a fury of slashes, and you'll do even more slashes once upgraded. You can no longer do aerial combos, as they'll just bring you back to the ground where you could do a regular ground combo. Your downward thrust will now do these vertical slashes, with the upgraded version doing this very cool animation. Your precision counter will also change. When you parry, you could do this cool slash through the enemy. Your attack speed is increased slightly, so I found it easier to do parries. You can no longer do Burning Blade. Now while this all may sound bad as you're losing a lot of core abilities you may have grown fond of during your journey, it's not all that bad, as your charge melee will now consume the gauge on the right, all the way down to a level 1 Zantetsuken. The higher the level, the more damage, with level 5 being the max once you level it up. Zantetsuken is actually the strongest attack in the game, as it could clear out a whole room of trash, and it does a significant amount of damage to bosses. You can build up your Zantetsuken and carry it into another fight, unlike Bahamut's Mega Flare, making it very versatile, and I usually did this before a big boss fight for a huge amount of burst damage. Now on to the iconic abilities. Gungnir hits multiple times, and just like Garuda's Gouge, you can press your attack button to add additional follow-up attacks. Keep in mind this does not build up your limit break. The upgraded version makes the follow-up attacks faster. This is an okay ability to juggle lighter enemies, and if you jump anywhere during this combo, it'll launch the light enemies into the air if you need to dodge an attack. This is actually really useful to keep the smaller enemies at bay while handling the bigger enemies. While Gungnir has a lot of hit count, it doesn't build up the Zantetsuken gauge as fast as other methods, so I can't recommend using this skill. Moving on to Heaven's Cloud. It does a single slash through an enemy, and if you press the attack button as it connects, you could do another slash, and one more for 3 slashes total. Once upgraded, you could do this an additional 3 times to hit a total of 6 slashes. If done with a bunch of trash mobs, then this attack can end early if you can't reach the next enemy, so it's best used when the enemies are grouped up. Keep in mind this does not fill your limit break. While Heaven's Cloud is slightly better than Gungnir on how fast it is to execute, I still wouldn't recommend using this skill. Now for probably the coolest ability in the game, Rift Slip. This ability cancels out of any ability or action you're doing and slows down time. If done right, the cooldown is reduced by 50%, which is insane. You'll know if you do it right because you'll see the ring fill out quicker. If done wrong, it'll be a lot slower, as I originally thought it would just give you 50% of the ring already filled out, but no, it's just a faster regen. You can use this when an enemy is about to attack you to get parries easier by cancelling a regular attack so it slows down time, and then just slash the enemy to get the parry. Another practical way to use this is by cancelling out ending animations of skills that are normally jarring to combat for a cooler looking combo. It can also be used if you get hit to recover while slowing down your foes. Lastly, we'll go over Dancing Steel. This attack has a very long windup before it executes. This can be cancelled even if the enemy farts on you, so it's advised to use this skill while the enemy is staggered or followed up after another ability like Rift Slip. When upgraded, you'll do even more slashes. When you do get this attack to connect, it does a bunch of slashes that will drastically fill your Zantetsuken gauge, and if used versus trash, you'll usually walk away with a level 5 Zantetsuken. Against the boss, it usually gets you to level 3.5. Keep in mind none of these slashes will fill your limit break. Oh, and if you miss the starting slash, it'll also whiff. If you lock onto an enemy, then you'll do all your slashes on that enemy instead of flying across hitting multiple targets. Now that we cover all our iconic abilities, let's go over some combos you can use which will make this a lot easier. One of my favorite all-time combos after acquiring Odin was the Dancing Steel and Lightning Rod combo. If placed next to at least one enemy, you will easily fill up to level 5 because the hitbox of Lightning Rod counts as a second enemy for you to hit, which always gives you a level 5 Zantetsuken on top of doing a ton of AoE and will damage. If you prefer to save your Lightning Rod for Giga Flare, then Shiva's Icon can be a decent alternative. Precise cold snaps will freeze your enemies so you can execute Dancing Steel easier. This will not get you to level 5 versus bosses, but against trash you should get there. Another fun combo is Ignition into Rift Slip, then Dancing Steel to get a level 5 Zantetsuken. Ignition will scoop up your enemies, so you can then cleave them while they're slowed down. Now I know these combos contain a lot of Dancing Steel, but it's just the best attack to fill up the gauge quickly. Like I stated prior, Gungnir and Heaven's Cloud just don't make the cut because they do very little damage, and will damage at that. You'd rather have these precious Eikonic Ability slots filled with skills that have more weight to them. Hopefully this video helped you understand how to use Odin efficiently, and if you enjoyed this video, consider checking out the last one, which covers the best build in the game, which is a double Zantetsuken rotation. And perhaps subscribing to see more, as I plan on making a ton of videos for Final Fantasy XVI, and I play a wide array of RPG games, and I break them down just like this. Until the next video, I'll see ya.